Well, here's a classic from Garth Brooks. Blame it all on my roots. I showed up in boots and ruined your black tide affair. The last one to know, the last one to show. I was the last one you thought you'd see there. And I saw the surprise and the fear in his eyes when I took his glass of champagne. I toasted you, said, honey, we may be through, but you'll never hear me complain. 'Cause I've got friends in low places where the whiskey drowns and the beer chases my blues away. And I'll be okay. Hey, I'm not big on social graces. Think I'll slip on down to the oasis. So I've got friends in low places. Alright, I'm not sure if you can see it properly now. So yeah, just started drawing electricity from the sun, but I had just charged a little too much. I was using the light late last night as I filled up the cells. Cells are pretty dry, and so it wasn't holding its full charge. But I reckon I still got a number of basic cycles out of these two batteries. Purchased about 3 years ago, and they're each 65 amps deep cycle, but there's been a few times where they've been completely discharged. The batteries were disconnected, and I was up country, so I wasn't able to maintain them. But yeah, they were holding about 12.5, 12.6 yesterday, each of them together, and they're wired in parallel, so it's just a 12-volt system. Yeah, I know, a 12-volt system. Why don't you do 24 volt or 36? Well, I'm not exactly using primarily for AC, so that's the first reason. If I was using AC, yeah, you want a higher voltage, step up voltage. But I do have an inverter for basic charging stuff. But ultimately, my needs are DC anyway. Even for charging, technically I use AC to charge, but DC, so it's like converting DC to AC to DC again. But mostly for lights, lamps. Got a fan like this here, for example. This is a DC circuit. See that? So, and then of course LED lights, and pumps and stuff. I might use it for in the future here. All DC. But yeah, you talk about refrigerators, air conditioners, and house circuits, AC. Then yeah, you want to use a higher, because your batteries are DC anyway. You want to use a higher voltage setup. That way your step up is not so dramatic, and you don't use so many amps. It's another reason. So for example, for sunset looks a lot better. Let's go check it out. So for example, for 12 volts, that setup there, it if I want to use a 1000 watt on an inverter, you know, that's easily 100 amps. You know, even surge more than that. But of course, 24 volts. It's half that, so it'd be 50 amps for a 24 volt system. And the surge, you know, not quite 100 amps. So a lot of your fuses and your wires, they protect against the amps. So the lower your voltage is, the more amp draw, and that's Ohm's law. You can quite see it there. So yeah, to draw less amps, use more volts. Basically what I was getting at. See, the land is flooded up there on the road. Our land is more or less dry. Some irrigation going here. Little island there. I'm gonna burn it. That's like a thorny wild bush that I don't see anybody, but if there's any thorny or wild bushes, I've got to go. So yeah, we'll wait for a dry season, pile up there, and then we'll just burn it out, and then we'll have to get out all the roots and then make it clean and have a lot of nice magnesium and carbon there for growing other types of trees. But here goes the cope Thai, so it's they call it, I guess, a Jamaican cherry. Well, not Thai. This one's not Thai. This is the cope nok. So the cope farang, some people call it. Birds really love these berries here. I think it is. I'll have to check and see it. But you can see the leaf pattern. It's alternate pattern there, and it's alternate pinnet, right? Both on the main stem and the secondary stems there, where the berries and flowers come. You can't see a flower here. There was some in bloom last week. Oh, here we go. Not quite. Looks like they've already done bloomed. Some berries. Birds really love them. And yeah. And this is Sagay. Sagay Pa. Can't remember the English name. The main tree there, here. The crown there. Sagay. Locals pronounce it Sagay. But it's called Sagay in Thai. Official name. Alright, let's get camp cleaned up. Caught a bus down to the island of Phuket for a few weeks work cycle, catch up with the family, fetch the family actually, and enjoy some time at the beach on my day off. And this is Bangtao Beach, which is on the northwest of the island. It's towards the end of the southwesterly monsoon cycle, so the winds are coming strong from the Indian Ocean. We're facing that direction now, and yeah, they'll soon shift back to come from the northeasterly direction, from the southeast China Sea, not the southeast China Sea, the south and east China Sea. Yeah, so yeah, it's relatively peaceful now here in Thailand. Obviously, there's a lot of stuff on the media about what's going on in the cities with all these protests and such, but it really is not reflective of what's really going on in the rest of the country here. And yeah, but of course Thailand, like every other country, is dealing with a bunch of crap, if I can say it in one single word. But yeah, they are really ramping up their moves in places like the EU, North America. They, as in the puppet masters, and all the rhetoric they're feeding everybody through the media. I don't need to repeat it. You know exactly what they're talking about. But yeah, one of the reasons countries like Thailand is not necessarily dealing it at this moment, could switch any day now, is because surveillance state is already up and running here, and that's what we're really talking about at the end of the day, right? It all comes down to the Great Reset, as they call it, into the fourth industrial revolution and the Internet of Things, the Internet of everything. And so it's already up and running here in Thailand. Everyone's complying full on. They're going along with whatever they say for the most part, even if some people are getting lazy and don't really believe all the crap. But yeah, it's already up and running, whereas places like maybe EU and Australia and the North America, there's still a lot of resistance to all that because of freedom and personal liberty and all that stuff, which doesn't exist here anyway. But anyway, so they've been playing along with all these globalist games just to the mark enough to keep them off our backs for now. But yeah, people still are walking around in fear and of each other, wearing their masks, and ultimately when they are told to, they will get whatever needle they're told to get in order to continue living their lives, quote unquote, normally. But anyway, this ocean is ancient, and it always looks like this for thousands of years, and it's going to look like this for another thousands of years, no matter what happens with the human population. So always refreshing to come and see beautiful ocean. And of course, here's the little boy here. He's all happy to get grounded on the beach sand there.
And it's always good. You know, I see a lot of people walking around. If you can, if you have family, kids, get them grounded. Get them walking around on the beach, barefooted, or on the grass, or any kind of dirt. You know, as much as you can. You know, you walk around society, you see everybody's completely insulated from Earth. Anyway, we're gonna end this clip with the second half of the song that we started the clip with. So enjoy. Till next time.
Well, I guess I was wrong. I just don't belong. Then I've been there before, and everything's alright. And I'll just say goodnight, and I'll show myself to the door. Hey, I didn't mean to cause a big scene. Just give me an hour, and then I'll be as high as that ivory tower that you're living in. 'Cause I've got friends in low places where the whiskey drowns and the beer chases my blues away. And I'll be okay. Hey, I'm not big on social graces. Think I'll slip on down to the oasis. So I've got friends in low places. Alright, it just goes on and on and on and on. Yeehaw!